Marvel, system powers build the Umbrella Base. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 121. When Thor spoke, these dark elves also looked at each other and slowly put down their weapons. And those soldiers who were gathered on the side rushed up. Directly disarmed these dark elves, and at the same time stripped off all the combat clothes on their bodies. Solitary confinement. Okay. Next, we're on. After seeing these fighters take control of these dark elves, a group of custom female soldiers left the landing ship directly, and took down this dark elf space battleship that was close to a kilometer without bloodshed. A group of custom female soldiers began to get busy. Loki, I will definitely tell my father about this when I go back. At the same time, I will explain to my father. Watch Wang Wei's subordinates methodically receive the loot. Thor suddenly muttered to Loki behind him, looking, I'm your brother, I'm good for you. But the muttering Thor suddenly looked back. Mom sells lots. Loki, you're a king, you're running away again. Behind Thor, where is Loki's figure? All of them are Wang Wei's people and batches of customized female soldiers. Seeing this, how did Thor not know that Loki had transformed and ran away? As for Loki's pit, this is with an evil smile, directly into the team of those custom female soldiers and began to tinker with things. Comfortable, really comfortable. This is really the sublimation of the soul. When Wang Wei absorbed all the ether particles into his body, Wang Wei felt that his soul had sublimated. As for that crippled void engine? This goods, directly dropped a sentence, I want to advance, to repair myself. Lately, if something happens, it's okay, don't bother me. Well, farewell, excuse me. For Wang Wei, the most important thing is the advancement of this void engine. The void engine can be said to be the next killer tool for Wang Wei's body. If the void engine is used properly, Wang Wei King will have no problem killing several people of the same level as himself in the Marvel world. Okay, your little girlfriend solved it for you. You fuck me too. While speaking, Wang Wei asked the custom female soldier beside him to throw this little girlfriend of Thor God Thor over. However, the custom female soldier is also slightly less so, and handed this Thor's girlfriend directly back to Thor. Thank you for having time for me in Asgard. I invite you to drink the best wine. There's nothing wrong with seeing your little girlfriend. Thor, this is straight S stupid son, directly thanked Wang Wei. You're welcome this time, I didn't lose either. The thing hidden in her body is very powerful, I love it. More importantly, this time I got a batch of loot. With a gaze that looked at his territory, Wang Wei began to look at this dark elf world. Dark black clouds always fill the sky. Yellow sand next door, everywhere. No, how can this kind of place live people and build cities? This is torture. Wang Wei, who was thinking so, began to think and hesitate. What does this dark elf world look like by itself? Are you trying to take over this world? Looking at Wang Wei's gaze at his own territory, he looked at the world. Thor pondered slightly and asked Wang Wei. After all, this dark elven world is still under their nominal rule in Asgard, no matter what. Yes, how? You want to take it back? You know, here is the remnants of my defeat of the dark elves, as a booty, I have the right to dominate everything here. Wang Wei, whose eyes narrowed slightly, stared at Thor in front of him like this. As long as Thor dares to say a word, no. Wang Wei will search fiercely, and a wave will directly slip away. Damn, why don't you run and wait? Fight with Odin? Rip the calf. Wait until Odin hangs up. It is also possible to fool the foolish son of this landlord's family. Now Odin is just falling into a deep sleep and can't beat it. Run directly, even if he is ready to run, Wang Wei must be prepared to scavenge a wave of runs. No, I mean, if you want to occupy here, you can. After all, the 9 realms all have their own masters. At that time, Asgard's side will directly prepare an orthodox document for you. We in Asgard directly recognize your right to rule here. Thunder God Sol, who shook his head slightly, directly said his intention to Wang Wei. Are you sure you want to transfer this place to me? Wang Wei, who was quite unexpected, was so stunned. After all, this is one of the 9 realms. As a 9 realms in the universe that can wrestle with most forces. Handing over a world like this is definitely a big blow to Asgard's reputation. Even Odin is likely to be awakened alive. Thinking of this, Wang Wei changed his face in an instant as if he had changed his face. Directly followed this, Thor God Thor hooked up. Interesting enough, you really mean enough from today, I cover you. It's okay, don't look for me if something happens. A pair of knives for brothers and 2 ribs, no, it is a look of inserting 2 knives for himself, which is directly expressed by Wang Wei. Sol, who took Wang Wei's temperament into his eyes, only frowned slightly. For Saul, Asgard's reputation may have been important before. But in which evening, after what his father said to himself and wrote words? Thor, who did not use his brain, also began to slowly use his brain. His own father said that he should make more friends with this Wang Wei. Episode 122. So, how about sending out the Dark Elf world, one of the 9 realms? Anyway, this Dark Elven world, occupied by the people of Asgard, is only exploiting resources. Basically, there will be too many people stationed. Fortunately, I gave this place directly to Wang Wei. Well, the stupid son of the landlord's family is so straightforward. Such a silly. While saying goodbye to Sol, Wang Wei couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. Not only did he get ether particles that could repair the void engine, he also obtained the technological reserves of this dark elf. Although it is hundreds of years, for these dark elves who can enter the universe, what is hundreds of years ago is actually not very old. Weapons and equipment, scientific research materials, and there is nothing ridiculous about super backwardness. The most important thing is that Wang Wei completely occupies this dark elf world. Cool. So, you're ready to go on your own? Or do I send you away? Wang Wei, who just sent the thunder god Thor away, has a slightly hideous look on his face, looking at this customized female soldier beside him. Muggle, this Loki is simply poisonous, right? What's wrong with transforming, but to transform into a woman? Could it be that the third princess, you are finally willing to restore your daughter body? Well, how did you recognize me? Look at Wang Wei, who is staring at him. Loki, who transformed into a heroic and sassy custom female soldier, could only helplessly unlock his transformation ability. Izumi's dark green robe was draped over Loki's back. How did I know you? You slut's breath, no matter how you cover up, you can't carry out defense. While speaking, Wang Wei began to roll his eyes. Does this guy really think he's an idiot? Although the void engine has fallen into a state of slumber, it doesn't mean that he can't use the void engine. Alright. Since you've found it all, then I'm leaving. Look at the supernatural soldiers around you, who are extremely wary of themselves, even raising their weapons, and the custom female soldiers. Loki, who transformed into a custom female soldier, directly raised his hands helplessly. Directly changed back to the way he once was. Look at the 3 princesses with a mean face. Wang Wei always felt that this guy did not have some kind of fetish for women's clothing. This son of Odin, none of them are worry-free enough. Fuck off, you. With eyelids, Wang Wei directly kicked Loki out. I want to mix in my own team. By the way, about your occupation of this dark elven world, I also agreed on my intention, and I would intercede with my father with Thor. Present, this Loki also dropped such a sentence, and the whole person left the world of dark elves directly. In Loki's careful thinking, as long as he does not block Wang Wei. In this matter, help Wang Wei. Then when the time comes, when he wants to become the king of Asgard, Wang Wei will definitely return the favor. Well, very Loki's thinking. Looking at this leaving Loki, Wang Wei's face directly became strange. One by one, this Nema sent out this dark elven world. I don't know why, Wang Wei always feels that this dark elf world is a bit of a small pit rhythm. Already, move positions. Watch the 3,000 soldiers on this landing ship, watch over the dark elves. Wang Wei waved his hand and directly chose to shift the position. This place is a place of spatial cracks. But Wang Wei will definitely not place the base vehicle in his landing ship in this place. After all, in Wang Wei's thoughts, this dark elf world is no matter how unbearable. At the very least, there are also certain rich mineral resources, no more. Lao Tzu is used as a biochemical base, as well as barracks, ton arsenal, construction base, head office, right? Red Alert planet, although good, but Wang Wei didn't feel a trace of security on this Red Alert planet. Wang Wei himself couldn't remember exactly. This dark elf world, with the Asgard world, and Blue Star, seemed to be in the same position, but it was a different spatial level. That is, as long as you break the spatial crack, you can go wherever you want. Yes, sir. These custom-made female soldiers who heard Wang Wei's order, as well as the powerful soldiers, moved one after another. It didn't take long for the powerful soldiers to directly imprison these dark elves on the landing ship. The custom female soldiers operated for a while, with the assistance of artificial intelligence, directly activated the dark elf space battleship with more than 90% intact. It's fast. It didn't take long for Wang Wei and the others to drive the landing ship directly, followed by the dark elf space battleship. Directly came to the vicinity of a continuous mountain range thousands of kilometers away. Not far from this mountain range is a barren Gobi desert. Desolate, bleak. Yellow sand is everywhere, and the Gobi spreads. It's as if this dark elf world is a terrible world. I really want to vaguely know the reason why these 2 guys threw this dark elf world to me. Driving all the way, except for the yellow sand next door, there is a desolate mountain. Wang Wei looked straight and made his brows jump wildly. If it weren't for the fact that the landing ship had a scanning device always on it along the way, a lot of veins have been discovered, and Wang Wei GB will directly drop a base here and flash people directly. Come to the foot of this mountain. Wang Wei directly opened the Shenzhou base vehicle and the Gonghui base vehicle in the landing ship and built it. For the problem of merging the two base vehicles. Now the engineers are still working on it. After all, a base car represents a hope for revival. It represents the crystallization of scientific and technological assembly. Episode 123. And it is still somewhat difficult for the current engineers to crack the crystallization of the hope of this base car. If Wang Wei used the void engine to crack it, then it would definitely not take long. With Wang Wei's order, the two base vehicles were directly deployed here. For this dark elf world like the Gobi, Wang Wei has no idea of transforming this world for the time being. With the deployment of the two base vehicles, coupled with the effect of Wang Wei building that space-time teleportation equipment, this dark elf world is connected to the Red Alert planet. Sir. An anomaly was found in a canyon not far away. Just after Wang Wei had just set up this space-time teleportation equipment, the custom-made female soldiers on the landing ship suddenly reported to Wang Wei. The landing ship was also not de-alerted in this dark elven world. After all, in the dark elf world, who can say 1, 2, 3? What abnormality? Raising his eyebrows slightly, Wang Wei directly began to use his huge magical power to perceive the largest canyon nearly 1,000 kilometers away. After Wang Wei's perception of magical power, Wang Wei's eyebrows jumped wildly. I'm Chow, I said how this place is a desolate breath. With Wang Wei's magical power feeling. Underneath this canyon is a densely packed monster. Boundless, as if it were a huge ethnic group. Bring those dark elves to me for interrogation. I'd rather see what's going on with these guys. Wang Wei, who was slightly displeased, directly ordered the customized female soldiers beside him. Yes, sir. These custom female soldiers who heard Wang Wei's order interrogated the nearly 1,000 dark elves on the spot. It doesn't take long. The custom female soldier came directly to Wang Wei with a hand of information. That is, these monsters were once war monsters raised by the dark elves? But this method of controlling these monsters, only their leader knows? While looking at the information above, Wang Wei's eyebrows jumped. Yes, sir, those dark elves are saying that, although, to put it bluntly, it is different, but it's all such a statement. While speaking, the custom female soldier nodded at Wang Wei. Super reproduction? Have a population mother worm? Amazing destructive power? Able to devour all biological functions in front of you? Overwhelmed, like a sea of soldiers? How is this special like the Zerg in the Interstellar? Looking at these intelligence descriptions, after the scanning of the magical power of Lianji, Wang Wei's brows furrowed directly. Isn't the Zerg in the Interstellar awesome? Super awesome. Completely play with you, no negotiation. Able to devour all species in front of you. Devouring for devouring. Oh, proper cleaner of the universe. I'll come when I go. Wang Wei, who put down the information in his hand, directly took Icarus and the others, as well as a Horse Legion and a Transformers Air Force Legion, and began to fly directly towards the canyon nearly 1,000 kilometers away. Individual abilities are not very strong, the main thing that is strong is the endless sea of troops. Wang Wei, who was chanting in his mouth, led everyone to rush towards the canyon. It didn't take long for them to be below their speed, flew directly to the edge of the side of the canyon. In this edge area, there is a group of about 10,000 monsters out of the canyon, looking for something around. It's as if looking for some food, and it's like you're on patrol. Go up, try how the combat effectiveness is. Look at these hideous monsters with bodies within 10 meters. Wang Wei feels that these guys are a bit like ants. Or rather, the oversized variant of the ant. The Transformers Air Force Legion, which heard Wang Wei's order, and the Horse Legion flew over on the spot. And in this large team of about 1,000 people, this nearly 10,000-headed monster has just arrived, but it is only thousands of meters away. It's as if these monsters have discovered the enemy in front of them. A riot began to erupt among these ant monsters. In just a few moments, he recovered directly. Among them, thousands of flying ants-like monsters rose directly from the ground. I want to take down all the Transformers members and Snap Legion members who rushed over in front of me. Fire. When the optimal firing distance is reached, Wang Wei ordered coldly. With Wang Wei's order, the members of the leading Intruder Legion fired all the invasion missiles hanging under their magazines. Huh. The target of these invasion missiles is not the flying ant force in the air. It is the army of many ant monsters rushing over on the ground. After these invasion missiles reached the sky above this ant monster army, they exploded directly in the air. With an overwhelming explosion sound. This wave of invasion missiles directly killed and injured nearly 2,000 or 3,000 ant monsters. And when all these invasion missiles are launched, the members of the Intruder Legion and the Snap Legion directly rushed up and entangled the flying ant troops who wanted to kill them. With the flight speed far exceeding these flying ant troops, these two legions directly flew kites in the air. Some heavy bombardment Transformers members, such as the Black Hawk Legion, flew directly above some ant monsters on the ground. One bombshell after another was dropped directly. Boom! With a sound of explosions sounded. These ant monsters on the ground were directly blown apart by this Black Hawk Legion and others. And because some of the combat data of the flying ant troops are not understood, members of the Horse Legion and the Transformers Invader Legion began hunting these flying ants on a small scale. Episode 124. But when these flying ant monsters were hunted, they found that it was just that. The situation came directly to a 180-degree turn. In turn, chase and kill these flying ant troops. These guys' combat ability doesn't seem to be particularly strong. Could it be that this dark elf world was almost devoured, so it had to shrink? Degrading the population? After seeing these ant monster-like battle intuitive effects, Wang Wei couldn't help but start thinking slightly. This situation is really like a reaction after degeneration. Perhaps these guys can become the training targets of a new generation. I thought about it a little. Wang Wei opened any door directly above this ground. If nothing else, Odin, this old guy is at least interesting enough. After giving himself the wanted directory, he also gave himself a star map, by the way. The scope of this star map probably covers the ruling range of the 9 realms. As for how large this Asgard's rule is in the universe, Wang Wei does not know, but Wang Wei knows one thing, that is, the civilized planet protected by Asgard, thousands of them. Damn it, in this case, Asgard is simply rich. No wonder for forsaken a dark elven world, whether it is Thor, the god of thunder, or the third princess Loki, they all said that it didn't matter much. Left Icarus and the others behind the dark elven world. Wang Wei directly opened this arbitrary door on the experimental number that dragged Carrie and the battleship back to the Red Alert planet. Wang Wei directly found this General Ling Liang on this experiment. Commander, you occupy a world and then the world has monsters like this race, thinking of using these monsters to hone recruits? After listening carefully to Wang Wei's statement, Ling Liang couldn't help but start thinking slightly. If you use these monsters to temper recruits, it is not a practice. After all, although the soldiers recruited from this barracks are all brave and fierce, once they come to this world, they basically have to suffer a special enhancement. These powers are enhanced and do not actually train in combat, that's not much effect. It can be said that the powerful soldiers on this experimental number are already some of the people with combat effectiveness that they can extract. More powerful soldiers are really not ideal for the degree to which they use their powers. That's right, the dark elven world, though desolate, but it is very suitable for resource extraction, military training, military stockpiling, and some dangerous scientific and technological experiments. Red Alert planet, the environment is very good, I'm ready to make the star our back garden. Since it's the back garden, then cherish it. As soon as he said this, Wang Wei felt a little heartache. On the Red Alert planet, there are now 2 continents, because they need a lot of resources, they are overexploited in various ways. The whole thing was a mess. These places will have to be renovated at that time. I agree with this too. Ling Liang also agreed with Wang Wei's plan to build the Red Police planet into a back garden. After all, the environment is such a good planet, can't it be directly destroyed just because of the development of armed forces, can it? Then, General Liang, trouble you now roll that dark elf world. At the very least, get a foothold in the dark elf world first, don't be repelled by those ants. Look at this heroic female general in front of her. Wang Wei directly put his hands on Ling Liang's shoulders. I look optimistic about you, and directly entrusted Ling Liang with a heavy responsibility again. Hey? At this time, Ling Liang was really confused. Commander, are you afraid that you are not looking for excitement? The military and political affairs on the Red Alert planet are my sole responsibility. Now let me take on all the military and political affairs of this dark elf world. I, the commander of the space fleet, can't do it yet. People want to be fleet commanders, I don't want to sit in the rear. Looking at Wang Wei's face, I am optimistic about you, I trust your gaze. These words in Ling Liang's heart were directly swallowed. What can I do? I'm the only one who can provoke the girder here, what can I do? Yes. Sir. The pouting Ling Liang eventually accepted Wang Wei's appointment. and Ling Liang, who accepted Wang Wei's appointment, was directly thrown back to the Red Police planet by Wang Wei through any door. In Wang Wei's words, now the Dark Elf world has opened, there is not a lot of combat effectiveness over there. You will still deploy troops from the Red Alert planet, and directly carry out large-scale troop transportation through that space-time transfer device. After Wang Wei threw that Ling Liang over, Wang Wei clapped his hands with a happy face. Comfortable. Sure enough, there is nothing to do, and it is cool to hand it over to your subordinates. With such a thought, Wang Wei's whole mood became happy. What's wrong? Brilliance. When Wang Wei turned his head, he looked at the bulging pouting brilliance and looked at himself with some resentment. Inexplicably, Wang Wei, who was worried about the brilliance, carefully asked. This brilliance is also the ship girl on this test ship anyway. Moreover, she can be regarded as the first ship girl in her hands. Blood test ship. A wife was sent, are you saying cool? Governor, people want to change battleships. After hearing Wang Wei call himself Guang Wei, instead of calling himself Mrs. Radiance like the first time, the luster under his eyes dimmed slightly. The whole person was attached to Wang Wei's body, and directly hugged Wang Wei with a coquettish face and prayed. I know. But if you want to change battleships, at least wait until you return to the Red Alert planet. Otherwise, how can I change it for you? Episode 125. Looking at this little girl in front of her, who was only 1 meter 6, hanging directly on her hot-blooded man of 8 meters. Wang Wei lowered his head and looked at the glorious little face that was almost close to his face. Wang Wei's head was slightly shocked. So fragrant, so soft, so cute, so cute. Looking at this in front of you, you can directly lower your small lips. Wang Wei held back. In other words, Wang Wei didn't know if this wife would hate herself after she took her mouth. Although there is a reason for the nature of a human wife, but people are ship girls. Although he is a governor, he has not cultivated a relationship with Wang Wei, has he? Otherwise, where did the gendarmerie come from? Where does the slag, dung ti, come from? But people want to change now. This test number, people really don't like it. Opening his big fluttering eyes, the brilliance was coquettish in front of Wang Wei. If there is a third person in this command room, do you see what Wang Wei looks like? It was precisely because there was no one that Wang Wei let go of his temperance and coquettish in front of Wang Wei. Even if you go back, you can't change it, shrewd. Wait a minute, go back to the Red Alert planet and change again, good no good? Looking at this little goblin-like brilliance, Wang Wei said weakly with rare spinelessness. This sticky brilliance is really the first time, and it is also super cute. Can't stand it, I really can't stand it. Wang Wei, who felt that he had reacted, wanted to get this brilliance down first. The man is going to design it himself, good no good? As if he felt Wang Wei's reaction, his eyes shone with a luster, and his face became even more rosy. The soft and lingering voice sounded softly in Wang Wei's ears. Good. Good. Go back and I'll design the battleship for you myself, you come down first. Wang Wei, who was a little unbearable, crashed in his head. No matter what Wang Wei said, now Wang Wei was a little incoherent. Then please, Governor. I'm really looking forward to the governor's design. A hot breath slowly exhaled at the edge of Wang Wei's earlobe. Under this heat, Wang Wei was really hot. Can't stand it. Madam, don't you want to be so cute? Wang Wei, who nodded, finally directly ripped his wife off his neck. Without pulling it off, Wang Wei estimated that he was about to enter the gendarmerie for tea. Don't you like radiance? Looking at the person who pulled herself down, the wife asked Wang Wei weakly with a little tone. Love it, radiance, you lovely girl, why don't you like it? However, this is a battleship after all, it's better to converge a little. While looking at the outside of the command room, Wang Wei nodded in agreement and said. Don't like a wife? That's impossible, I like my wife all my life. Then, Radiance doesn't mind. Looking at Wang Wei, who was a little shy, the wife whispered to Wang Wei. Don't mind? What don't you mind? Wang Wei, who did not react, directly saw Wang Wei's slightly puffy little face. Seeing Wang Wei's reaction, the wife's whole person was not good. My governor, you are a fool. This is my battleship. The battleship I control, moreover, I said I didn't mind, what do you mind if you give me a sentence? I'll stuff you into an 800mm enamel cannon. Bastard. Humph. Looking at Wang Wei's appearance, after kicking the floor hatefully, his wife left directly angrily. Looking at the brilliance of leaving, Wang Wei was a little confused. Don't mind? What don't you mind? Wang Wei, who was a little puzzled, slowly thought in this command room. When Wang Wei reacted that there was only himself in this command room, he suddenly understood. Eileen. I special instantly understood that Wang Wei almost wanted to commit suicide. I'm an idiot, what did I just do? That's obviously an opportunity. It's an opportunity, a chance to eat meat. Wang Wei, who cried angrily for himself, couldn't help but hit the wall. This feeling is really terrible. However, Wang Wei, who reacted, suddenly felt that he was a little pitted. Help the wife design the battleship? I'll design you a leg. Wang Wei considers himself a genius, able to surpass Tony's genius. But genius doesn't play like that. Medical side, energy side, biological side, now okay, I want to help my wife design a battleship? Do you think battleships are simple? As everyone knows, in the Red Police Base, the drawings of the battleship of this test number alone have been stored in nearly tens of thousands of copies. That's right, tens of thousands of copies, a warship for experimentation. There are tens of thousands of copies of this drawing. It's a rhythm to die for. Alas, hard work, just hard work. I can only design a battleship for my wife myself. However, this space battleship is not enough. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers, submarines, everything is a must. While thinking, Wang Wei walked directly back to the Blue Star, through that arbitrary door. As for comforting the wife? Sorry, Wang Wei, who has been single for more than 20 years in his previous life, really hasn't understood. After all, the current brilliance is in the air, this time has passed, isn't it looking for a fight? It's better to shoot a perfect space carrier directly, and when the time comes, give it to Radiance, and directly coax it no. No gifts, you coax women? What about making trouble? Well, the simple and straightforward Wang Wei thinks so. The wife, who had been waiting for a long time in her private room, did not wait for Wang Wei to appear. Wait until the wife checks the battleship again. It was found that Wang Wei had long since left. Duke. Looking at Wang Wei, who left, the corner of Wang Wei's mouth couldn't help but mutter _. Episode 126. This idiot, don't you know how to chase you? Is it difficult to have me suppress you? Yu Yan, help me ask countries for a design drawing of a battleship from the World War II era. To all. Wang Wei, who returned to the Blue Star, directly called Wang Yuyan. This modern technology battleship, if Wang Wei wants it, these big hooligans can only bite the bullet and hand it over to Wang Wei. Just can't. Wang Wei can only be soft. What else can I do? However, this cosmic war and surface warfare are two different things. The combat system of modern warships is based on missiles, magnetic fields, and induction elements. And space combat, many times, is fired at laser cannons like space battleships, energy cannons. Missiles, this stuff, unless you have this missile that contains a lot of energy bombs, otherwise the effect is not very good. Because of this, Wang Wei did not ask for some drawing technology of modern warships. As long as Wang Wei is willing, he can rely on the Void engine to erode the network above this Blue Star in minutes, even if you are an independent network. Yes, young master. Hearing Wang Wei's order, Wang Yuyan nodded and directly began to prepare to ask the hooligans for a drawing of a World War II battleship. That's right, young master. Bucky sent news that they seem to have been targeted by people from S.H.I.E.L.D. Remembering the things in the memorandum, Wang Yuyan suddenly elaborated to Wang Wei. Targeted by people from S.H.I.E.L.D.? What's going on? After Wang Yuyan said so, Wang Wei finally remembered Bucky, who was released by himself before. This guy, who used to be used as a pawn, doesn't know how he is doing now. To be honest, if it weren't for Wang Yuyan's reminder, Wang Wei would have almost forgotten Bucky in a corner. Just like Scarlet Witch and others, they were forgotten by Wang Wei for a while. Well, according to Bucky's words, it was he who kept taking in some scoundrels according to your orders, young master, and then formed these villains. But because when he took in a mutant Sandman at a time, he fought with Spider-Man. Because of the fight, in the end, Bucky's organization was targeted by the American team. Briefly explained the reason for the matter, Wang Yuyan slowly explained to Wang Wei. Team American Steven and Winter Soldier Bucky's love kill? Hearing Wang Yuyan's statement, Wang Wei's face was strange. This time without Tony's intervention, this must be very happy to love and kill each other, right? With a look of watching a play, after Wang Wei hung up the communication with Wang Yuyan, he directly typed the secret communication method with Bucky. Boss. After Wang Wei opened this communication method, Bucky's respectful voice came directly from the opposite side. Hearing this sonorous and powerful voice, Wang Wei knew that there was no big problem on Bucky's side for the time being. Because there was no big problem, Wang Wei directly began to gossip. I heard that you contacted Team Steven of the United States? With a hint of inquiry, Wang Wei said very casually. It doesn't matter if you touch or not, it doesn't matter if you fight, if you don't fight. The important thing is that these two good friends love and kill each other. If it can be broadcast live, Wang Wei doesn't mind, drinking the happy water of the fat house, eating popcorn while admiring this situation of love and killing. That picture is simply beautiful. Yes, boss. Hearing Wang Wei's inquiry, Bucky did not hesitate at all, nodded. It was very straightforward, and admitted. Tell me what you think now. With a slight raised eyebrow, Wang Wei, who sat up directly, took out a bag of tea leaves and began to make tea and drink it. I'm ready to make contact with this American team, Steven. If you can, I want to lurk in this shield. On the opposite side, Bucky suddenly broke such a news to Wang Wei. Ahem. You said you wanted to lurk inside shield? With a shake of his hand, Wang Wei, who almost fell to the ground in this teapot, was really shown by Bucky's divine operation. Infiltrate shield and fall in love with Team America in shield. Dude, what do you think? You're a criminal. You are a former Hydra remnant wanted by the world. Although, I was arrested for a while, although I used you to get away with this way to add a little crime to you. But consider this evil criminal joining S.H.I.E.L.D., which is the main anti-crime force. Hey, don't say it, it's quite sensual. Yes, boss. These days, Team Steven has been chasing me constantly. One is talking about some things from World War II, although I recall a little. However, I don't think that's the point is, what kind of benefits can you create for the boss? Although these criminals in my hands have a certain strength, but with the boss those Umbrella Group security departments in your hands, it's not a star and a half. Since this American team wants me to turn back, then why don't I use this American team and directly merge into that shield? With his own thoughts, Bucky spoke seriously to Wang Wei. You say, you sounded part of the World War II memory? Hearing the meaning of Bucky's words, Wang Wei's action of making tea paused slightly, and continued to inquire. And what about recall? Umbrella's energy is incalculable. As long as Wang Wei is willing, the Umbrella Group can annihilate all the forces in Bucky's hands within 3 hours. When I think about it, some of them are memories of fighting alongside Steven, and some of them are me. It's my memory of when I was remodeled for Bucky, the memory of being transformed is a shame. Episode 127. One of the greatest shames. Well, decide for yourself. Join S.H.I.E.L.D. or lead your criminal organization to go it alone. I won't interfere with you. While speaking, Wang Wei sipped a cup of tea he had brewed. Bucky's memories of the past, but not yet out of the control of the biochemical chip. In other words, the biochemical chip brainwashing technology after this Red Queen is also strengthened. Thinking of this, Wang Wei nodded slightly. Since brainwashing techniques can then use these technologies in the right way. For example, brainwashing some elite arms with strong strength? Yes, boss. Hearing Wang Wei's decentralization behavior, Bucky couldn't help but feel a warmth in his heart. What is it? This is the boss, trust in yourself. As a subordinate, you can't betray the boss's trust. Bucky, who was full of blood, said respectfully to Wang Wei, then the subordinates will not disturb the boss. Well, you're busy. While speaking, Wang Wei directly cut off the communication with Bucky. At this moment, Bucky, who was hidden in a secret location in a certain state, sat in his private room and began to think slowly. Boss, the power in hand is very strong, but I also want to contribute to BOS. These 23 villains in my hands are the source of my power. The security department of Umbrella Group is basically a force on the surface. The Umbrella Group also has close ties with many countries, so Umbrella Group lacks a team of cleaners who can sweep trash in the shadows. And the boss is the de facto leader of the Avengers in this shield system. If I enter the shield again, it will be a bit redundant. However, it is still necessary for S.H.I.E.L.D. and many intelligence espionage organizations to put some people in. At least some news can be obtained in advance, and some actions against Umbrella can be reasonably sabotaged. Then, from now on, I will be a cleaner who sweeps the darkness in the hands of the boss. Bucky, who had sorted out his thoughts, slowly exhaled a turbid breath. Clean the boss of the dark underground. I really want to remember that before the rise of Umbrella, the city of the altar and the counselors behind it did something. These lawmakers have long since stepped down and can just let it go. OSS, not dealing with them maybe because of the boss, the identity on the bright side, but I was able to come freely. By the way, knock knock that gold union. Remembering something, Bucky walked straight out of his room. In this secret base, a group of people are here for their own pastime. Play cards, drink, gamble, tie powder, and even play with women. Everything is available here. They are villains, they are criminals. They gathered under Bucky's command on the one hand, because of the money in Bucky's hands, and on the other hand, because of Bucky's strength. The main thing is that they remember what Bucky told them: since you are a criminal, then be the best criminal. Criminals who make the whole world look at it. Head, what's next? The people of S.H.I.E.L.D. have now begun tracking us down. A big man full of muscles looked at Bucky in front of him and asked cautiously. Follow me to kill, since these guys, grabbing us and not letting go, then force them to let go. Remember the Hydra with whom we had a feud? Assassination of a group of their officials, plant this matter on Hydra. With a cold snort from Bucky, numerous villains roared. If Wang Wei knew this idea, Bucky. Wang Wei's whole person would be speechless. Those officials now can't survive or die, you're killing them to give them a relief, right? You are a tease. As for Na Jinha, he has long been subordinate to the Umbrella Group. It's funny, Bubaki, can you please bring some brains? But it's a pity that Wang Wei doesn't know Bucky's way of thinking. Wang Wei, where are you? I'm in the villa, what's the land? Looking at the sudden connection, Tony's communication, Wang Wei was confused. What's wrong with this big brother? I'm ready to form the first members of the peacekeeping program, do you want to come over? Tony, who was just trying to see if he could dial Wang Wei's phone, found that he had really dialed. Since it is dialed, it is easy to do, and it is directly dragged over to carry out the formation of a peacekeeping plan. The existence of Wang Wei and the existence of Wang Wei are two concepts, right? Although Wang Wei has agreed to join the peacekeeping plan. Not going, wait a minute, let's talk about who you pulled first. Wang Wei, who originally wanted to veto it and didn't go by himself, suddenly wondered who this Tony was going to pull in. Enter this peacekeeping proposal. Actually, this time, it's not just to pull into the peacekeeping plan. Another idea I had was to add some new members to the Avengers. Tony, who raised some mean smile at the corner of his mouth, smiled at Wang Wei's hippie face. Reserve member? Hearing Tony's statement, Wang Wei's eyebrows raised slightly. Now the people in the Avengers, say more, not more, say less. Wei Wang, Tony, Banner, Natasha, Barton, Steven, and the silly son of that landowner's family in Asgard. However, the stupid son of this landlord's family belongs to the supernumerary, not a blue star person, basically does not count. Such a number of people, not much, say less, no less. Now it can only be used as a reserve member. After all, our Avengers are also one of the top organizations, you can't just pull some rotten fish and smelly shrimp in to recharge underscore. Episode 128. Tell me about it, who are they? When Tony said this, Wang Wei was directly aroused by a trace of interest. Who is this reserve that Tony is going to pull into the Avengers? This, you will know when you come over. Like a little slut. Tony laughed directly. Just don't tell Wang Wei who the reserve members who are drawn into the Avengers are. It seems that he has made up his mind and must let Wang Wei come over. You fellow. For Tony's approach, Wang Wei just smiled. Since it passed, then pass. Seriously, Wang Wei also wants to see, who is this reserve member of Tony who is ready to pull into the Avengers? And there is this peacekeeping plan, who is operating now? Thinking of this, Wang Wei's head became bigger. Now squeeze a whole bunch of things. There are many, many things that I haven't had time to do. Intelligent angel civilization, Wang Wei Kong has knowledge, but did not create intelligent angels. The power system of the Town Guard mansion is related to the level of Wang Wei's space battleship fleet, but because of resources. Now it is not developing either. At this moment, the time is a little nervous. After thinking about it a little, Wang Wei felt that he was a little short of time. However, after making up his mind, Wang Wei was ready to go to the Dark World first. Bring Icarus and the others back. Thinking like this, Wang Wei directly opened any door and went to the location of the outpost he had set up before. Quick. Fast. Full speed ahead. Transformers, all charge. Support from the front. Support from the front. Just now, Wang Wei of this dark elf world heard a roaring sound of soldiers in his ears. The roar of tanks, the whistling of helicopters, and the silence of many fighter jets rising from the sky. After watching one team after another rush out of the spacetime equipment, Wang Wei is a little confused. What a situation. What's wrong with this? Looking at General Ling Liang, who appeared in front of him, Wang Wei directly stopped him. Looking at General Ling Liang with a hint of displeasure in front of him, Wang Wei seemed to feel a breath. Commander. After seeing Wang Wei appear, General Ling Liang directly saluted and began to directly expound. Nothing, it's just a big military exercise. I've seen those ant monsters, and their strength is not very strong. A 3-star soldier can tremble. But there are too many. Now there are hundreds of thousands of them all at once. Shaking his head slightly, Ling Liang directly explained the reason for the matter to Wang Wei. Hearing Ling Liang's words, Wang Wei nodded slightly and said, Do you need me to make a move? Hundreds of thousands of ant monsters, this extent, is enough to form a sea of soldiers that rages on everything. However, these soldiers of their own are also well trained. For Wang Wei, since Ling Liang said that there was no big problem, then there was no big problem. If you want to train troops, you can do it. No need, it's just because we've just arrived here, the fortifications have not yet been built. Only the transformers can resist on the front line, and then slightly release some ant monsters, so that the powerful soldiers can train and fight. In other words, Commander, are you here to take Icarus and the others away? As if thinking of Wang Wei's purpose for coming here, General Ling Liang asked Wang Wei. Well, yes, ready to take Icarus and the others. For Wang Wei, it was not very necessary to take Icarus and the others. After all, Icarus, Cows, and Asteria, all three of them possess the ability to destroy stars. Nymphu, on the other hand, has the level of paralyzing a space fleet. It is really impossible to say which of the two is stronger and weaker before then leave Asteria behind. I don't know if these ant monsters will have some super powerful, monster-like existences. However, stay, at least there is a security guarantee. My side will vigorously develop some military defense systems first. While speaking, General Ling Liang suggested that Wang Wei leave Asteria behind. Good. Wang Wei, who nodded, also agreed to leave Asteria on top of the Dark Elven world. After all, Asteria was a little jumpy. But the strength of his body is not a joke. Saying that, Wang Wei flew directly in the direction of the front line. On this way over, Wang Wei also met many members of Umbrella's Legion who were supporting the front. But wait until Wang Wei reaches the front line. Wang Wei's scalp is numb. Nima, there are too many of these ant monsters, right? Look at this overwhelming ant monster. Wang Wei really didn't know what to say. And those members of their own legion are all fighting and retreating. No way, each ant monster has a body size of several meters. If it is not carried out and retreated, then the battlefield in front is directly covered with these ant monster-like corpses. And these ant monsters climbed directly on top of the corpse. It didn't take much. After piling up for about 10 minutes of fighting, people jumped straight from the sky. Stir. After seeing Wang Wei, Icarus and the others looked at Wang Wei's arrival, and a happy smile directly appeared on their faces. After all, before Wang Wei left, he said that he would let a few of them be responsible for watching the scene. As long as those below can fight, they don't need 'em all. Stir. Shall we go up? So many ant monsters, those little guys are not good to fight. Asteria, who looked excited, pointed directly at the ant monster on the ground like a sea of tides, and said seriously while holding the shock particle lightsaber in her hand. Underscore. Episode 129. Look at the battle plea of this militant. Wang Wei hesitated slightly. After all, these ant monsters were all used by Ling Liang for military training. By going all the way, Wang Wei was discovered. This seemingly tense battle situation was actually under Ling Liang's control. The troops who rushed to support were like firefighting units, fighting fires. The front that seems to be about to collapse, in fact, stabilizes a batch. I can only say, General Ling Liang, awesome. Go. After this time, after fighting, you stay here and listen to General Ling Liang for the time being. While speaking, Wang Wei agreed to this Asteria's request to fight. After all, he took Icarus and the others and left Asteria here. It's a little strange how to say it. So, let's let Asteria have a good fight. Hearing that Wang Wei agreed to go down and kill herself, Asteria didn't care at all about this Wang Wei's intention to keep her here. Without saying a word, he rushed directly towards this bottom. As soon as she appeared, Asteria was directly powerful. The concussion particle lightsaber in his hand is a blow in the air. This blow slash directly turned into a shocking air slash that was thousands of meters long. The huge flying ant monster troops that flew out of that canyon directly turned into pieces of corpses under this shocking air slash, and some dust slowly fell in the air. Let's go. Asteria, who looked at the militants, did not care that he wanted to leave her behind, and Wang Wei laughed bitterly directly. This hot-blooded fool. It's really a bit of a bloody overkill. But forget it. With a smile, Wang Wei directly hugged the Cows, who threw himself into his arms. But when Wang Wei held Cows, if before, Wang Wei didn't feel anything, then after being teased by the brilliance, if Wang Wei didn't react, it was impossible. But it was precisely because of the reaction that Wang Wei himself guessed that he was slightly embarrassed. Petite lowly in her arms, that soft and delicious skin. Ahem. Off topic. Wang Wei, who directly destroyed the ideas in his head, ran back to the Blue Star with Icarus and Nymphu. Wang Wei, who returned to Blue Star, also cleaned up directly. Directly called out the two sports cars parked in the garage. Silver Fox. Thunder. Both of you. Look at the polar Silver Fox parked in the garage by itself, and the thunderstorm. Wang Wei suddenly felt that these two goods were a bit pitiful. After all, other Transformers are either fighting or preparing for war. Only these two goods, and only when they are on this blue star, will they ride the two of them for a ride and run. If they don't stop themselves, the two of them will only be able to chat with each other in the garage to relieve their boredom. Chief. When he heard Wang Wei call them both, whether it is the Polar Silver Fox or the Thunderstorm, they are all excited. At least this time, you can walk outside. Get ready, take us to the Stark Group building. Icarus, Cows, you two sit on Thunderstorm. I'm sitting with Nymphu on top of the Polar Silver Fox. Saying that, Wang Wei was about to pull Nymphu towards the Polar Silver Fox. Hey! Being pulled by Wang Wei like this, Nymphu was a little caught off guard. Wait, why am I with you this time? Master. Although she didn't hate Wang Wei, Nymphu, a somewhat shy girl, also blushed directly. What do you want? Looking at the Nymphu whose face was like steaming, Wang Wei was also a little speechless. This little girl, what do you think? No, nothing. Looking at Wang Wei, who was close at hand and sitting in the driver's seat, Nymphu was slightly embarrassed. Power furnace is burning. Yes, master. Saw Wang Wei pull Nymphu above the Polar Silver Fox. Icarus took Cows to sit on top of the Thunderstorm and followed Wang Wei. Then, set off Chief. While speaking, the Polar Silver Fox released a pure music and directly took Wang Wei and the others to start racing. For the sports car type Transformers locked up in the garage, drag racing is the coolest time. All the way with sparks and lightning, Wang Wei, who caused 3 traffic jams, did not have the slightest sense of responsibility. Directly parked the car under the Stark Group building, and walked directly towards the top of the Stark Group building with Nymphu and the others. In other words, who have you summoned? Wang Wei, who directly pushed the door of Tony's office open, threw out such a sentence. But when Wang Wei pushed open the door, Wang Wei found that Tony's office was a little lively. Yo, it's all there. Looking at these familiar faces, Wang Wei smiled slightly and said hello. Natasha, Barton, Dr. Banner, Steven, these Avengers members are all here. Hey! This red leather coat? Scarlet Witch, Wanda? And also Quicksilver? Reed? Sue? Root? Johnny? After seeing these back a few people, Wang Wei's complexion was directly not very good. Without saying a word, Wang Wei directly took Tony, who came over. I said, you can do it. Digging the foot of the wall, digging into me? Wang Wei, who had some hatred, said directly to Tony with displeasure. Scarlet Witch and a few of them, for Wang Wei, that is the people of this umbrella group. This Tony actually dug into his head. Unbearable. I really can't bear it. Don't do it. Looking at Wang Wei, who was about to beat himself, Tony quickly roared in a low voice. Episode 130. After all, Tony, who has not been beaten, still knows Wang Wei's fists very well. Say beat you, absolutely beat you. Never stay. These people of yours, although they are all in your group. But I'm not digging into the wall. You know, you yourself are a veteran of the Avengers and also one of the main leaders of the Avengers. Didn't bringing these people in enhance your strength and your right to speak? A posture for your good, Tony explained directly to Wang Wei seriously. Wait, I'm a little confused by what you said. What is a veteran figure? What is the main person in charge again? I'm confused by what you said. Wang Wei, who didn't understand very well, sat directly with Tony near a small coffee table outside this office. Looking at Wang Wei, who was a little confused, Tony probably understood something. Some things about the Avengers, you don't know? With a little inquiry, Tony asked directly to Wang Wei. I know a hammer. I'm busy all day, it's either something over there or a lab thing. I still have a bunch of research projects on my hands that I haven't done. Wang Wei, who was not angry, directly complained to Tony. If it weren't for Tony's call, Wang Wei would still be tinkering with his own research experiments. I was choked by Wang Wei. Tony didn't know what to say. Wang Wei has a lot of things, Tony knows, and Tony also knows that Wang Wei is busy. But I didn't expect it to be so busy. Well, actually, it's like this. We, the Avengers, are an independent individual. It is affiliated with S.H.I.E.L.D., but it is not under the jurisdiction of S.H.I.E.L.D. The main thing is the people above. Because of you, the people above don't care much about us in general. The Avengers are very free in nature. However, we have to deal with some undermining world peace and more criminals. There are also some problems with extraterritorial civilizations, and so on. And in the middle of this, you are too busy all day to be seen. Let you fight criminals, you will not go. I have time, so I go once in a while. Dr. Banner is basically nestled in your ambri and doing research. Only Steven, Natasha, and Barton are active in this world, fighting criminals. And Natasha and Barton belong to S.H.I.E.L.D. people, now it's up to Steven to support this Avengers title alone. While speaking, Tony began to complain one day. Hearing Tony's complaint, Wang Wei directly drifted his eyes to the side. Fight criminals? Think too much, I'm a ghost, where is the time to fight criminals? Here, you are the main character of this Avengers, also one of the elders. In addition to you, the remaining two people in charge are me and Steven. The rest are considered members. And because of this, to make the Avengers a little decent, I'm ready to pull a bunch of people in. When those people came in, didn't you speak a little heavier? While speaking, Tony explained to Wang Wei. After all, being able to add some fresh blood is also an idea of Tony. They don't come in, am I not in the right to speak? With his eyelids on his eyelids, Wang Wei said angrily. You Tony, who was choked by Wang Wei again, really didn't know what to say. Okay, look at your aggrieved look. Pull them in. Being a rice worm at home all day is not a thing. That is, I have no problem raising such a few people in Umbrella, but it's not a matter of raising it like this. While speaking, Wang Wei waved his hand and said indifferently. After all, whether it's the two Quicksilver brothers and sisters, or the Dr. Reed foursome, it can be said that they are all rice worms in this Umbrella group. Wang Wei did not arrange any tasks for them, that is, the kind of daily salary as usual. Well, you just nod in agreement. After hearing Wang Wei's agreement, Tony's whole person couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. If this Wang Wei doesn't agree, Tony really can't do anything himself. Wang Wei, who shook his head slightly, took Tony directly into Tony's office. And the four Reed in Tony's office and the Quicksilver brothers and sisters were a little embarrassed after seeing Wang Wei's appearance. After all, who would have thought that there was something wrong with being invited over today, and it turned out to be such a thing. When everyone arrived, Tony clapped his hands directly to indicate that the matter had begun. Very directly, he announced to the four Reed and the Quicksilver brothers and sisters to join the Avengers. And these people also saw Wang Wei nodding. They all agreed one after another. After all, the Avengers have a lot of privileges. And for these people, these privileges are exactly what they want. How do you guys get it? I don't care. Just don't mess around. Something went wrong, there I am. Glancing at everyone, Wang Wei directly brushed down with a word, just don't mess around, something happened, I'll back you up. For Wang Wei at this moment, he really has the confidence to say such a sentence. After hearing Wang Wei's words, everyone's eyes couldn't help but light up. After all, some of the actions of the Avengers, sometimes, are indeed very inconvenient. There is this phrase of the boss, enough. Then the next is this peacekeeping plan. While speaking, Tony took out the peacekeeping plan. When this peacekeeping plan passed everyone's attention _ Episode 131. Now, this peacekeeping plan is currently chaired by me, assisted by Dr. Banner, and Wang Wei is temporary in nature. He has a lot of things to worry about, and he doesn't have much experience to worry about it, so I wanted to ask if any one of you were involved. For this peacekeeping plan, Tony has poured a lot of effort into it. A city developed with the assistance of robots and super-intelligent AI terminals. It represents a change in science and technology. Can we get involved? The two brothers and sisters of Quain, who were idle and panicked, directly raised their hands. After all, the two of them really have nothing to do. Since you have joined this Avengers, let's do something. Yes. At a glance, the two Tony brothers and sisters nodded slightly in agreement. Huh? Nimue, who was beside Wang Wei, quietly flipped through the plan with it. After seeing some of the things on the proposal and the settings, Nympha seemed to be interested. What's wrong? Hot? Wang Wei is not much interested in this peacekeeping plan. But seeing Nympha like this, Wang Wei estimated that Nimue was also a little interested. A little interested brother. Nymphu, who had roughly flipped through the peacekeeping plan, nodded slightly. In front of outsiders, whether it was Icarus, Nimue, and others, they all called Wang Wei his brother. Good. Since you are interested, it is easy to say. Wang Wei directly stood up in this group of people and announced. My sister, Nymphu, is also very interested in this peacekeeping plan. So, let her participate too. While speaking, Wang Wei pushed Nimue out. Hearing Wang Wei's words, everyone present turned their gazes to Nimue. She? Okay? For Wang Wei's sisters to have good combat effectiveness, Tony also knows. But no the hell knows. This is related to the field of science. If only he could still have a lot of ability in this. That Tony is really a little self-contained. Nymphu is not good at fighting, it's an electronic offensive and defensive war. While saying, Wang Wei pushed Nymphu out. Pushed out by Wang Wei like this, Nymphu, who was originally a little shy, began to calm down. I have some level in network programming and electronics. Without the slightest stage fright, Nymph said seriously to everyone. Okay then. Since Nymph Jr. has joined, then join in. For Wang Wei's sake. Tony is still very faithful, directly accepted Nymphu into this peacekeeping plan. Even if Nymphu is not good at anything, if you want to join, you have to give people a face, right? Then that's it. Look at this, everyone present is basically finalized. Wang Wei directly returned to the villa with Nymphu, Icarus, and the others. There is nothing left to stay in this Stark group. In other words, how long has it been since I checked in? Back in the villa, Wang Wei's hands itched. It's been a few months. I've accumulated 7 check-ins. Let's test the water first. Wang Wei, who was rubbing his hands in the villa, whispered directly to the moon signing system. Ding, congratulations to the host for signing in successfully, get an IS Mecha technology tree, get an exclusive character, Shinonobun. As the sound of this month's signing system fell, another technology tree sits directly in Wang Wei's head. At this point, in Wang Wei's head, there are now 2 science and technology trees and 3 knowledge treasures. Muggle. Fortunately, I am used to the opening of the spiritual world. Otherwise, this time it will be unbearable to die again. Wang Wei, who was slightly raised, said that he was still a little uncomfortable with this large amount of knowledge directly connected into his head. Little Vivi. When Wang Wei was sitting on the balcony to receive information, I don't know if Wang Wei picked it up by hand. A full of vitality, but with a crazy girl-like voice, directly pounced from far and near. Before Wang Wei could react. A sweet and delicious delicacy, ah. It was a young girl wearing light purple-pink clothes who rushed directly into Wang Wei's arms. Little Wei Wei, come to kiss. A small and cute face, that mischievous face, and the look that holds Wang Wei's face and wants to kiss it directly. Wang Wei was so frightened on the spot that he threw it out. Wang Wei, who reacted for a while, looked at the bundle of Shinozi, who unceremoniously threw himself into his arms to kiss. A burst of black lines floated over the entire forehead. Bundle. Can you be more reserved? Looking at the slightest bit of a woman's reserved Shinono shoe, Wang Wei's eyebrows jumped wildly, and he directly pressed a hand on the brain door of Xiaoji's bundle. The bundle of Xiaoji, who was held by Wang Wei, directly cried a face, and some tears seemed to flash in these eyes. The teary-eyed Xiaozishu sat in Wang Wei's arms. With a crying face, he said, Xiao Weiwei hates Xiaoshu, Xiaoshu is so sad. The small bundle is so sad, Xiaoshu really wants to leave the world, wuh. If you don't coax me, I will continue to cry to you. Shino's bundle is really not a dramatist. You fellow. Seeing the Shonobun crying in his arms, Wang Wei's eyebrows jumped wildly. Don't say, it's sweet and delicious, wrong, this soft and creamy body in Wang Wei's arms. Although separated by a few silk-like clothes, but Wang Wei obviously felt that this dress was a pit, right? When the big hand lightly rested on that waist, Wang Wei's fingers jumped a little. Episode 132. Want to eat. Such a thought emerged, instantly Wang Wei came to feel. Feeling Wang Wei's hand on his waist, he suddenly wiped away the non-existent tears. He chuckled with a hint of charm in his eyes. Little Vivi wants to either? The steaming breath slowly blew on Wang Wei's cheeks. Feel the leprechaun-like rhetoric of Shino's Bunobun. Wang Wei really felt that he couldn't go on like this. Otherwise, it's really good. You little goblin. Where did so many flowery intestines come from? Close your eyes, Wang Wei slapped the jelly under the waist of Shino's bundle. Ah, with Wang Wei's slap down, Shino's whole appearance feels a little bad. Don't make trouble. I was played like this little goblin by Shinonobun. Wang Wei directly mentioned it. This guy really gives some color, just go straight to the room. Doesn't Xiao Weiwei like Xiao Weiwei? The endless memories of the Xiaoji bundle that he had just touched said to Wang Wei while throwing his wink. Don't make trouble, let me ask you something first, look at Shinonobun like this. Wang Wei really said that he was hanging. This guy, if placed in front of an ordinary person, absolutely uncontrollable. It's also thanks to me that I am a person with a bit of conscience, otherwise this has just been recruited, and I am too scum, right? Feelings need to be cultivated in both directions. Wang Wei admitted that he had a good impression of Shino's issue, but this good feeling was far from the point of being able to be a scumbag. What does little Vivi want to ask? Is it three-dimensional? This person is very shy. How about you measure it yourself, Xiao Weiwei? A leprechaun like a vampire. Xiao Jishu gently covered his face in front of Wang Wei and said shyly. But although this is a little shy, what is the provocative look on your face? Wang Wei, whose black lines flashed on his eyebrows, directly faced the bundle of Shinozi, and it was a brain collapse. Woohoo! After suffering a brain breakdown, Shinono began to hold his head and squat up. Questions about the IS mech. What I want to know is to fight in the universe? I didn't take care of this malicious seller. Wang Wei asked directly to Shino's issue. After all, in the one he has browsed, IS Mecha needs several points to form combat power. And these points appear in the original work. The first point is that the activation of the IS mech requires the IS core. If there is no core, then this IS mech is in existence like scrap iron. Second, regarding this second point, Wang Wei really doubted whether this was the evil taste of Shino's bundle after all. This entire I system was established by Shinono alone. The second problem is that women need to try to activate. This looks like a lot of randomness. It is possible that Wang Wei has recruited 1,000 customized female soldiers, and none of them will be able to activate. It may also be that a random Marvel person can be directly activated. On the second point, this gender question Wang Wei does not intend to change, but this activation problem, it has to be changed. Absolute change. The third aspect is the combat problem of IS mechs in the original work. Wang Wei seems to vaguely remember that the strongest IS mecha can directly push an aircraft carrier battle group. Although this aircraft carrier battle group is the power system of the surface civilization. But in the universe, it is almost equivalent to the level of a space battleship. From this, it can be inferred from the side that the combat level of IS mecha is definitely not weak, even said, able to hang Tony. Poor Tony, here in Wang Wei, has become a combat measurement unit. And for Wang Wei, who regarded Tony as a unit of measurement of combat effectiveness, he didn't care at all. From this, it can be seen that the combat potential of this IS mecha is above the horse-riding legion. There is even hope of becoming the presence of special forces to storm fortifications. As soon as he thought of this, Wang Wei directly turned his thinking to the cosmic aspect. After all, for Wang Wei, space combat is the most real problem. Cosmic combat? Hearing Wang Wei's kind of inquiry, Shino's bundle was a little confused. To be honest, Shinono, who is the founder of this IS mecha power system, has never considered the issue of space combat. Can you tell me about it? Little Vivi. The face gradually eased and the bundle of Shinono threw himself into Wang Wei's arms again, just sat on Wang Wei's lap, put his arm around Wang Wei's neck, and said very intimately. For this kind of intimate action, but not too bad behavior, Wang Wei acquiesced for the time being. With Wang Wei's tacit consent, Ziyazishu got even more carried away. And in this process, Wang Wei also began to slowly explain to Ziyazizi. Anyway, Wang Wei and Xiao Jishu said a lot. Biochemical power system, supernatural power system, transformers power system, and the unformed Zenshifu spaceship girl system, as well as the intelligent angel power system, etc. Wang Wei basically said the power in his hand. After all, Shinono can be regarded as the only person recruited by Wang Wei who can support a power system alone. It is also a very excellent scientific research talent. Such a person, how can Wang Wei not be at ease? Not to mention a girl. Soft cute girl. Ahem ahem. Wow. Little Vivi, you are so good. Little Vivi, come and kiss. When the power system held by Wang Wei was filtered out of his head, Shino's bundle once again transformed into an idiot girl, directly facing Wang Wei, is to kiss. Episode 133. Watch this gradually become unreasonable. Shino-no-shun. Wang Wei squeezed his hand. Directly held Shino's little face in his hand. Don't make trouble. Xiao Shu, Wang Wei, who was a little unable to complain, directly forcibly held Xiao Ji bundle. Although this is reversed by the girl, it is a very cool thing. But Wang Wei prefers to take the initiative himself. However, even if Wang Wei takes the initiative himself, Wang Wei will not let himself become a scum who has lost morality. See a girl, push one, that's scum, that's bastards. So sad, Xiao Shu is so sad. It's like a little loli is angry. Xiao Jishu, who was held by Wang Wei's head, was a little unhappy. While pouting, Wang Wei said indignantly in his arms. Let's get down to business first, and then talk about it when it's done. Wang Wei, who rubbed his eyebrows, felt that he was really a little tired. Women are good, but don't be too proactive. Alas. On the aspect of space combat, actually, it's not a big problem. After all, in the concept I conceived, the next upgrade is indeed the way to fight in the universe. Leave this to Xiaoshu. Xiaoshu promises to give you a satisfactory answer. As for the way this activates personally, it is still not recommended to change it. After all, even a mass-produced IS mech, there's also a fit problem. Some people are born with the life of the IMech master, and some people, even if they give them the best mecha, have a high chance of being defeated by the mecha master of the mass-produced machine. I thought about it a little. Shinono Shu still said this question to Wang Wei about the way to activate. After all, as Wang Wei's person, he had to consider Wang Wei. Of course, the conditions of this activation method are adjusted. Everyone can activate, and it's nothing for Shino's bunch. But if this is done, it is really no less than smoking in Wang Wei's arsenal, definitely looking for death in the dead. Is that so? So what do you think about the personnel selection of this IS Mech division? Although Wang Wei has the skill tree of this is Mecha, but Wei simply doesn't have time to integrate it and put it to good use now. The biggest effect of the IS Mecha technology tree for Wang Wei now is to act as a library and retrieve certain knowledge points when he needs it. So, sometimes you still have to ask this developer. Young girls are the best after all, the future is immeasurable. In addition, there are those excellent army soldiers. These people can become excellent army soldiers, and the potential of them is much better than the potential of ordinary people, easier to polish. Among them, young girls are more customized models, and excellent soldiers in the army are more suitable for mass production military models. After thinking about it for a while, Shinozisha said some thoughts and questions in his head to Wang Wei. These ideas and questions are all considered from Wang Wei's position and perspective. Is that so? Hearing this remark of Xiao Jishu, Wang Wei couldn't help but start thinking slowly. If it's a good soldier in the army, then ordinary soldier-level custom female soldiers are the first to be eliminated. In this way, the person who needs is to customize the members of those special combat teams. But here's the problem, where is this young girl going to do it? People from the Marvel Universe? Wang Wei is not happy. As for the issue of combat effectiveness, Xiao Weiwei, you also said that you have so many power systems in your hands. In fact, for us now, the highest priority is to build a testing machine. After all, I'm going to get a part of your power system straight out. Only in this way can this mech be sublimated. Only then can you bring a certain increase in strength to Xiao Weiwei's power. Like a seductive little goblin, this bundle of show whispered to Wang Wei. Hearing Shino's words, Wang Wei couldn't help but nod slightly. Indeed, the power system in his hands is indeed a bit too much now. The most important thing is to integrate all these power systems and improve their power. Only in this way can Wang Wei ensure that the power in his hands will not be wasted. That makes sense, come with me. While speaking, Wang Wei took the hand of the Sayazishu and walked towards the inside of this room. Seeing Wang Wei bring himself to the room like this, the little goblin of Shinozishu was a little panicked. Chao, is this going to come really? Xiao Weiwei, you are Shinozishu, who was a little unstoppable, asked weakly to Wang Wei with a little nervousness. If this Wang Wei really intends to come really? Are you greeting men? Or is it just picking? That's a problem. What's wrong? Don't really want to either? Isn't this for you? Why, are you afraid? Look at the appearance of this Shinono-bun. Wang Wei directly thought of the reaction of the Shinono bundle on the balcony before. These are two completely different looks. The leprechaun before, the pure love girl now. Shino's bundle, it turns out that you are just a strong king. Who is afraid? Isn't it coming? Come on. Who is afraid of whom? Rest until death. It's like the last stubbornness. This Xiaoji bundle directly raised his head and straightened his chest to Wang Wei and said righteously. Looking at Shino's proud face, he looked up and down. Wang Wei couldn't help but nod. Well, yes, it's really easy to get me to death. I'm going to be suffocated, isn't it? Until death, you say? You guy, really give you a little color, and you scream, hurry up and keep up. Wang Wei, who shrugged, directly opened the arbitrary door. Episode 134. Shinono Shu, who was still a little apprehensive, saw another scene behind this arbitrary door. The whole person was a little confused. Any door, this is the magic weapon of the space system, right? This is a baby that can change the world, right? Looking at any door behind him, and then at these steel buildings in front of him. Shino's bunching is a little bit out of his mind now. Didn't you say you want to fight each other? Why did little Vivi bring me here? When I came to this place, Shino's bundle instantly regained her arrogant and idiotic appearance. Directly to Wang Wei, he mouthed again. This look is to have more, and how much to clean up. It's really a complete naughty egg. You guy. Wang Wei, who was a little speechless for Shino's issue, directly stopped saying anything. Directly brought this bundle of Shino to the control base on this red alert planet. When Wang Wei came to this control base with this bundle of Shono, Zhangya and Zhang Yu are too powerful in their hands, but the sisters whose hairlines are becoming more and more obvious are busy here. See the increasingly pronounced hairlines of the two sisters. Wang Wei always felt like a sinner. Zhangya, Zhang Yu, I am back. Looking at the two sisters who were busy and had their feet on the ground, Wang Wei shouted softly to these two people a little helplessly. "Ah. Sir." When they saw Wang Wei appear, the two sisters panicked. Quickly stood up. "I don't know how many documents were touched in the middle." "Alas. It's hard work for both of you too. When General Ling Liang is gone." These two sisters really single-handedly provoked a series of things on this red alert planet. Why do you always feel that you have a bit of bad boss potential to squeeze employees? While thinking, Wang Wei asked softly to the two. "What's going on in the base now?" For this red alert planet, Wang Wei's attention is not very high. But the attention is not very high, which does not mean that Wang Wei does not pay attention. "Report, sir, General Ling Liang has transferred some of the combat power above this red police planet. Right now, there are not many soldiers on the red alert planet. If needed, we can recruit again." While speaking, the two sisters explained seriously with Wang Wei. After all, the red police planet can also be said to be the first territory in Wang Wei's hands. "Well, is that so? It's almost time to transform this red alert planet." After a little thought in his head, Wang Wei decided to take advantage of this time to mobilize the source of troops to the Dark Elf world on a large scale. Directly transform this red alert planet. "Huh? Little Vivi, you want to transform this planet?" Hearing Wang Wei's words, the whole person who was beside Wang Wei couldn't help but jump out. After all, this is the case, how to say. Transforming a planet is no easy task. It's not about transformation. Just to plan the planet a little. After all, this red alert planet is now almost 1/3 of what Wang Wei gave to Huahua. In Huahua, Wang Wei is waiting to find a planet to use again. After all, this planet is still Wang Wei's first territory, and it has a little commemorative value. Is that so? Alright. But let me state first. I don't want to move my IS system to that dark elf world. It's desolate. Xiao Zhizhi Shu, who shook his head slightly, directly gave Wang Wei a preventive injection first. Let a group of girls go to that dark elven world? And is there a bit of humanity? Okay, don't go, don't go. Looking at the appearance of this bundle of show, Wang Wei could only caress his forehead helplessly and said with a bitter smile. In fact, as early as when he had the experiment space battleship at the beginning, Wang Wei had repositioned some planets and separated some institutions on this red alert planet. So be it. Let me see how General Ling Liang is doing now. If you can, I'll send it back for now. Progressive redistricting. I don't know if I don't look, but I'm shocked when I see it. Wang Wei himself has a lot of power systems in his hands, many of them, but very little is used rationally. Wang Wei was very dissatisfied with this point. It is only possible to replan some of the power systems on this red alert planet. While speaking, Wang Wei went to the Dark Elf world. After the battle, because of Asteria's participation, the Ant Soldier Sea was directly restrained. Taking advantage of this time, General Ling Liang also very decisively established a simple and movable defense line. It can now be said to be a steady position. It didn't take long for those hundreds of thousands of ant monsters to pour out to be completely solved by Ling Liang. After seeing this scene, Wang Wei directly brought General Ling Liang back decisively without saying a word. Red Alert Planet, in a conference room. This conference room can be regarded as the first official meeting among Wang Wei's forces. Before again, Wang Wei had not held a meeting at all. All of them are what Wang Wei thinks of and does. Ahem, everyone is here now. I have something to say to you. Because our power is now growing. So, I think we need to redivide some of the power systems, make a reschedule assignment. This is to allow the various forces in our hands to reach their maximum potential. While speaking, Wang Wei slowly elaborated to everyone present. If nothing else, just these things that Wang Wei has extracted now are enough. Not to mention the intelligent angel civilization and the treasure house of knowledge of technological magic. Episode 135. These things also have a great effect on the increase of the power system in Wang Wei's hands. Here Wang Wei's way of redistributing power, distributing power. All the changes are subtly different. Almost everyone present had absolute loyalty to Wang Wei, but precisely because of absolute loyalty, some people have little authority in their hands, and some have great human rights. After all, Wang Wei is a force, it's not some group of 3 or 5, 180 people and the like. The two sisters Zhang Ye and Zhang Yu were slightly relieved in their hearts. As long as this power system is rescheduled and redistributed, then the two of them will definitely be much easier. The representative of the biochemical system, Alice, remained silent. For Alice, it is better to continue to be Wang Wei's personal guard to become the head of a department. And General Ling Liang, Black Lotus, and Tanya in the Red Police system were a little interested. After all, militants, you can't say. These intelligent angel systems like Icarus are dumbfounded, and it's not right it should be said that Icarus alone attended in the intelligent angel system. As for the brilliance of the town guard, ma'am, it is a face with a smile like the wind. In addition, there are some transformers who are leaders of various legions and some heads of engineering research. First of all, this red alert planet, the positioning in my mind is simple, that's the back garden, that's our home from now on. Because of this, the red alert planet has now evacuated some unsuitable research bases, and some unsuitable things, to the Dark Elf world. And the Dark Elf world, the current orientation direction is the barracks, the place of training, and the place of resource exploitation. After glancing at everyone, Wang Wei directly said the most basic thoughts in his heart. Hearing Wang Wei's words, everyone couldn't help but nod slightly. After all, there is everything on the red alert planet now messy, although there was a small transfer before, but no fart. Alice, now you're still in control of the entire biochemical department. This biochemical research base, as well as the biochemical barracks, all relocate to the Dark Elven world. First, Wang Wei entered this Alice. Speaking of which, Alice is also an old man under herself, and the power of the transformation system is gradually unable to keep up. This is not what Wang Wei wants to see. After a slight silence, Wang Wei continued to say to Alice, after you get over there, you try to discuss with the engineers in the biochemical research base, see if you can fuse those ant monsters in the Dark Elf world. If you can, just open. While speaking, Wang Wei temporarily gave this biochemical department a general direction. After all, the corpses of the Zitaguri people are still in this biochemical research base, and I don't know how this biochemical research base is doing about the Zitaguri people. Yes, young master. Hearing Wang Wei's order, Alice did not hesitate, as well as hesitate he nodded very crisply. After all, the biochemical sector is indeed prone to some problems sometimes. And then, Transformers Legionnaires. From now on, mobilize all the power to which you belong to the Dark Elf world. Except for some Transformers members who were exempted from participating in the battle. While speaking, Wang Wei ordered the dozens of Transformers Legion leaders. Each new vehicle is born, representing the emergence of a new legion under the Transformers Legion. After the Shenzhou base car and the Gonghui base car merged, this vehicle appeared intermittently for about a dozen. Obey, Chief. Hearing Wang Wei's order, these Transformer Legion leaders nodded very honestly and agreed. And then there is checkmate. Trouble you to deploy all the military forces on the Red Alert planet to the Dark Elf world. Not only that, but some barracks and the like will also be relocated there at that time. This side is still mainly urban. While speaking, Wang Wei ordered General Ling Liang. Understood, Commander. Although I don't quite agree that this Red Alert planet does not have the power to guard it, but when you think of the experimental ship floating above the Red Alert planet, General Ling Liang was relieved. As for Black Lotus, my side is ready to reform a special women's team. If you are interested, you can come and participate. This special women's team, you need to have more contact with Shina Nobun. See the Black Lotus with a bloody chi. Wang Wei thought for a moment, and directly thought of the Xiaoji bundle beside him. After all, the IS Mecha cooperated with the dispatch of the Black Lotus enough to form a blade tip force capable of tearing the striker. Black Lotus understands. No refusal, no hesitation. Black Lotus nodded and said seriously. Okay, so what's next? While speaking, Wang Wei transferred the many research bases on the Red Alert planet to the transfer of separation, the transfer of the transfer, the merger of the merger, and the supplement of the supplement. After all, my previous self really didn't manage this Red Alert planet much. When the power system in hand is large enough, you can't manage if you don't want to. In addition, Zhang Yu said to Zhang Yu that the base has a special building, City Hall, a building that belongs to civil use. The effect is simple. 100 resource units can recruit a citizen to come out. As for whether the recruits are male or female, old or young, I don't know, but one of the advantages of this building is that it can be quickly built into a city. Underscore.